From government office to another, the FDA is taking new steps to help curb the opioid epidemic. The agency is trying to get generic treatments for opioid overdoses to market faster, but there may be patent issues from the maker of Narcan, the leading treatment in reversing the opioid overdoses. Joining us for more from Baltimore is Dr. Paul Christo. He is a pain management and opioid expert, as well as the host of Aches and Gains on Sirius XM. Dr. Christo, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
The FDA steps, what do you think about them?
I think they're positive. I mean, the opioid epidemic is huge. We had, 42,000 opioid-related deaths in 2016. It's even higher in 2017, over 47,000 opioid-related deaths. And I would say right now, the main response to that is Narcan. I mean, Narcan can save lives. So I think that the availability of Narcan to a greater extent is key.
Dr. Christo, how easy will it be, though, to get these new treatments to market? Because you look at Teva, it already has a generic Narcan approval. That happened a couple months ago, but it's tied up in a legal battle with Narcan's manufacturer, Emergent Biosolutions. So how easy is it going to be for the FDA can try all they want to get these generic drugs to market, but it may get tied up in court.
Yes, it may. I think it's going to be difficult. But frankly, right now, I haven't had a problem prescribing Narcan for my patients. Most of the time it seems to be covered, but the problem is we still need to expand the use of Narcan. Right now we have, first responders, firefighters, police officers really need to have access to this to save lives. And this is, when patients overdose or in a near overdose of an opioid, this can be injected in terms of a spray into the nostril, which can reverse the effects of the opioid in terms of problems breathing and can restore life.
Do you think the Trump administration is doing enough to fight this epidemic?
I don't think they are. I think there's a lot of talk, but I haven't seen a lot of action yet. The epidemic is huge, as I mentioned. Now, in 2018, we may see fewer opioid-related deaths, and I hope we do. But I don't really see them doing a lot in terms of policy changes. And what we've also seen is really a shift from prescription opioid overdoses to heroin, and then now to a lot of overdoses related to illicit fentanyl use. So I think we need more policies to address that aspect.
Dr. Christo, a lot of lawmakers have come out and said the big pharma companies who produce and sell these opioids should actually be criminally liable when it comes to their roles in this epidemic. Do you agree with that? Where does the responsibility lie?
I think the responsibility is shared. This problem started in the 1990s, and at that time, there was a liberalization of the use of opioids on the part of healthcare practitioners, on the part of physicians, and even the government at that time was very interested in combating the problem that we have of chronic pain. Remember, we have 100 million Americans suffering from chronic pain in this country. It's a major epidemic in and of itself. So some of the pharmaceutical companies at that time, I think, did aggressively market opioids. So they do share the blame, but I think it's broad, not just pharmaceutical companies. I think it's many of us.
Somewhat outside of this specific topic, would Medicare for all help or hurt how you do business?
It may hurt how we do business. Medicare for all may restrict care and restrict access, and that's my concern. I hope that doesn't happen, but I think it might.
Dr. Paul Christo, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.